I think everybody understands how awesome Lewis Hamilton's 2020 pole lap at Belgium was in the Mercedes in what was probably the fastest F1 car we're ever going to see. But what you also may notice on this car, the 2005 Renault R25, driven by Fernando Alonso, we have slick tyres on this bad boy, which of course we saw in real life in the 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in a bit of a shakedown test in the weekend. Now, I've always wondered what a retro F1 car can do in the current conditions, so we're going to put that to the test around Spa. So today we're going to try and beat the 2020 pole time from Lewis Hamilton. We're also going to compare it to the 2004 and 5 lap times around here with these cars and also with that layout. So guys, if you're going to enjoy, like the video and subscribe. I'm very close to 100k subs now, guys. I want to try and hit that target this year. We're just 4,000 away, so if you are new, I honestly implore you to try and sub and help me out and reach that target. It would mean a lot to me. I want to try and get that silver plaque. And yeah, let's get into it. First things first, a sound check. Wow, honestly guys, it never ever gets old. You just cannot beat a V10. The way the car sounds when you're close to a barrier and the sound bounces back off, oh, actually sounds fantastic. And I'll turn it right up for you guys in the video so you can really enjoy it. But yeah, anyway, we're going to try and beat those kind of two references. I want to see how much faster this is compared to when this car actually raced, and also how close we can get to the 2020 Mercedes. Now, there's one or two factors here. Number one that's in play is going to be the tyres, of course. Groove versus slick should give us a massive lap time benefit. Having slicks means we can maybe shave off a bit of aero in certain areas. Also, fuel load. Something a lot of people don't really discuss when comparing retro cars to modern machinery is that back in this generation, these cars would actually qualify on race fuel. So we're actually going to dump the fuel load and go for, you know, single lap fuel or 2 lap fuel. So it's going to be a much lighter car, which will make it a lot more aggressive, because back then they would qualify on the fuel they had to start the race on. Same way we'd have that rule recently with the tyres. Same thing with the fuel. So first time lap here then as we head through La Source. We've also got traction control, which doesn't sound like it's super active right now, so I may have to dial that up a little bit if I want to try and push. But this car is a lot of fun to drive. It's a bit sensitive in the fast corners, as you can just see there, me twitch through Eau Rouge. We also, in testing, struggled through Blanchimont, so I've got to try and stay off certain curbs. But let's enjoy this middle sector. Lovely. Let's keep pushing this a little bit. Already pushing the limits. Pouron should be challenging. Oh, the back end. Oh, nice save. Back end. Oh, the car's biting already. I tried so hard to catch that, but that was so tough. Yeah, there's definitely a challenge here. The back end's very lively. Eau Rouge, Pouron, and Blanchimont. So we're going to have to maybe have a few stabs at this until I get a proper lap on the board. Yeah, the traction control is really working, to be fair. I can feel it really kicking in, so we can actually floor it quite nicely. That was nicer through there, but oh, this is going to be tough. It's the curbs. If I touch the curbs, man, just like that, it's gone straight away. Now let's see if we get through Pouron this time. Nope. Oh my god, it's so tough. The car is so sensitive at high speed. Well then, we are pushing on this lap. Let's see if third time's the charm here. Very, very little wheel lock, but we've got through this time. Not out of the woods yet. More complicated sections on the way. This car's got me right on the edge already though, having to be very careful. Stavlo 2 also not easy, got to try and keep the wheel locked down. We've done a 51.0, but that was with a half spin, so this hopefully could be my first clean lap. Got to survive Longchamp, which we do. We stay off the inside curb, which is deadly. Now the bus stop. A little bit deep into that first part, but that's okay. Put it back for the second, use the traction control. Up to the line. 45.4, not bad as a starting point. Only 4 seconds off, and that's a stock setup. Admittedly, I don't know how much more we're going to find because this car does not have electric hybrid modes, but that's not bad. So for example, the fuel is set to 90 litres, which is 16 laps. That's not quite a full race distance, you know, but back in the day, they would probably qualify in like, you know, 50 litres, 40 litres. So we're going to drop it to like 20 and see how that feels straight away. I'm also going to put the soft tyres on. I've also increased the tyre pressure. So little things like that. Electronics, there's not much besides traction control. But we'll mess around with it and see what happens. Now this feels insane already on these tyres. I've reduced the front wing by 1 click to have a bit more straight line speed. I've also done that to have a bit of stability, so we're not so sharp on the rear. So the oversteer's been dialed down a little bit, and I'm hoping that by going down on the front wing a little bit, the soft tyres will help make up for that loss of downforce. So we're kind of having the same front end. I've also reduced the gearbox a little bit. I've shortened it just a tad, so we're closer to the limiter, as you can see. So let's see how these adjustments feel. I'm also not going to talk much. I want you guys to enjoy the sound, so let's get to it. Traction control also has been increased, so we can floor it a bit earlier and get on the power. Let's see what this first soft tyre lap looks like. Lovely. A lot more mechanical grip as well on this tyre, which helps. Car feels a bit more stable through Eau Rouge. I can feel it through Pouron as well. Still not easy, but easier. Let's push now, this little section here. Oh, now we're pushing. Now we're getting on the limit. I reckon I could go flat through there, you know, if I can get the line right. Oh, in the gravel. Overstepping the mark a little bit there. Currently up by 2 seconds though, more than I thought actually, so let's see, there's a bit of time to find the bus stop. I broke ourselves a little bit last time, so let's see if we can find that lap time. Car feels brilliant to drive. Oh, that was great. Got the power so early there. 43.1. So 2.3 second improvement, and we're only 2 seconds away, so we're actually not far. We're a lot closer than I thought. Now we're cooking. I'm gonna make some small tweaks and basically go as fast as I possibly can now. I estimate there's about a second to find. Maybe I could dip into a higher 41. I'm not sure if I'm gonna beat the 2020 lap, but I don't think we're gonna be far off at all. I think we'll be closer than what many expect. So let's go for it. Let's see how the new setup feels. After this, we're going to a full sweat mode and basically give it everything we've got. No delta, so we won't know until we do the sector splits the old-fashioned way. Okay, bit too early there. I tried to take it flat. It's possible, but I don't think it's the fastest way. The back end gets loose. I'm already on my basically sweat lap, so I'm trying to deliver one good flyer, but the back end I don't think can hold on flat out. I think I need a slight confidence lift to balance the car up, and then we can go. I reckon there's a bit more time in that. Maybe a low 42. I think I'm happy with that. That was a very good lap. Very happy. I think there's a bit more time to find. I think I could be here all day, and I could probably dip into the 41s if I mess with the setup. I don't know too much what I'm doing. If I could put a proper setup on this, I reckon I could get really close, but I'm happy with that. 1.2 seconds off. This car can still go. So just to quickly run down the final setup, which I'm also going to use for the retro spar in a moment. This is the gearbox. I moved the first and second gear forward, final gear back a little bit. Tyres, slightly rear pressure higher than the front. Soft tyres on. Fuel, I went for 11 litres, just enough for 2 laps. Electronics, I actually went for 1 on traction control, so the highest possible setting. Aero, 11 and 7. And then alignment, I tweaked the camber and the toe a little bit, especially on the front, to try and have a sharper front end without having that kind of rear end oversteer. Dampers, I kept the same, not too sure what I'm doing here, so stock. Drivetrain, also stock, happy with the setting. Brake bus, I used 54.5 on the lap itself. I was messing around a little bit more steering assist to help have a bit less bumpy force feedback. Suspensions, I actually lowered the ride height front and rear by 1 click. And then springs were default. So let's get into the retro Spa version and let's see how fast we can go around there. There we go, 43.2. So the best lap on this version of Spa, raced in 2004 and 5, with the longer bus stop, was a 45.1. So we've gone nearly 2 seconds quicker on slicks and low fuel. The fuel is definitely a factor, but the tyres, what a difference. There we go, guys. There she is, the Renault R25. Present, past. You get to compare and see the different errors and see how slicks hold up on this absolute monster. We saw Alonso demonstrating Abu Dhabi the pace, and it was a couple of seconds off what the modern cars do, but I do feel like obviously it was a shakedown. He probably didn't have the engine mode dialed up. The fuel was probably quite heavy. Even Leclerc said it when he done a private test with the 2003 Ferrari a couple of months ago. if you really tried to push it, it probably would get really close. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to drive, guys. These cars are really nervous, which is also a lot of fun, makes them really tough to drive. And yeah, down below, guys, you have links to the car and the Retro Spa version, so go check those out. The regular Spa is already in Assetto Corsa, so no need to download it as a mod. And yeah, like the video, like I said before, let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. Subscribe for more daily F1 content on my channel, guys, and more Assetto Corsa content, experimental content, and just fun ideas that I like to have fun in this game with. And yeah, as always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the channel as always. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And yeah, guys, cheers for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next one.